Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another episode of the Third Man Cricket Show. And this time we got a very special team. And almost people would say that this is a very fan favorite team, and some might say that it is the most hated team. I mean, you could go either ways. Yes, we are talking about the Royal Challengers from Bangalore. And to talk about a special team, we already got a special guest in Varnata here with us. So, as you might know, as you might have seen Varnata on many shows on the Bharat Army podcast representing RCB and even the Indian cricket teams. He's a very popular figure from RCB's point of view. So welcome Varnata. Thanks for doing this. I mean, it is always good to be on any show with you. I think this is going to be a wonderful show.
Thank you so much, Sanchit, for inviting me. It's going to be a great evening today.
Definitely great evening, and it is going to be a great evening because this is the first time that we are doing this kind of a informal kind of a segment. So to all our viewers, we have been doing a pretty formal structured segment, but during this IPL we thought थोड़ा कुछ हटके करेंगे. So that is why we are going to have a very pretty informal chat about the team that people love to hate, people love to love. I mean, you can talk anything about that. So the team, whenever we talk about RCB, there is one phrase which we all like to use, whether you are a rival or whether you are the team supporters. So that phrase is none other than E Sala Cup Namde. So as you can just capture it from Varnata's expression, when she heard what I was going to say, she instantly got to know कि मैं क्या बोलने वाला हूँ, and I think that sums it up itself. So Varnata, I mean, just tell me the story when all this started. The whole tagline of Isala Cup Namdev. It all started on a serious and an optimistic tone that you guys can finally manage to break that trophy jinx. But then people started to take it from a literal meaning, and it actually started to become a fun topic to discuss. So just tell me about the story of this line.
I mean, the slang is started from the fans, okay? But then, since we couldn't make it to the, trophy thing, that's the reason it got stopped. And then we started believing in these things like we should not use this slang or else we are not going to win this trophy. So we stopped using that, and then we started hoping that okay, let's concentrate on the trophy, not on the slang. So we have stopped, like the RCB fans have stopped, but not other people. I mean, other fans haven't stopped because they find this point as a trolling thing. Like Isala Cup Nande bolenge to samne wale RCB fans will get angry because we usually get angry when I hear this. I'm like, we have stopped using this. Let's stop it here. Let's not start using it again. We will use it once we win the trophy. By the way, yeah.
Oh, one. So that's actually pretty optimistic. I mean, of course, we'll be coming to your prediction about this season. But before that, let me just introduce to our panel members also. So we got Kaustup here, a very well-spoken person from the Third Man Cricket Show. He's the founder of the Third Man Cricket Show. And we also got a debutant in Arjun Menon, and he's a die-hard RCB fan as well. So you can just introduce yourself in few words, both of you, starting with Arjun.
Yeah, so I'm more of a recent RCB fan, and I started following it because RCB I feel is the most fan interactive, like their social media game and their fan interaction, and they really give a lot of insights to the fans, and I really like that about RCB that they are right up there with the fan interactions, and it you almost feel like a 12th man, like how they call themselves 12th man TV, like we actually feel like a 12th man with them. And I also feel like the last few years with Mike Hessen coming into the picture, there's a different dynamic going on between Kohli and Hessen that's very nice for an RCB fan. Very satisfying.
Definitely, yes. What about you, Kaustup? You can just introduce yourself to Varnata as well.
So I think you made my introduction pretty well. So I won't take much of your time, but I'm Kaustubh Bhuble. I'm from Mumbai, and conditions made me a RCB fan. And right now I'm loving the performance, and I'm supporting them along the way. So and I hope that this year will be ours.
Definitely, yes. I think Varnata would definitely like that. And Varnata, if you can just notice in the comment section, whenever there is an RCB live, you always expect the rivals fans to be there in big numbers than the RCB fans, and that is actually evident. So you can see lots of comments from the Mumbai Indians fans, as Abhinav is mentioning. So I want to know your thoughts. I mean, obviously from a football point of view, I support Arsenal, so I know how it feels to be the most troll team in the league, but it actually has a different vibe when you know that people are always going to be talking about your team. It always makes your team feel a little bit more special as well, even though the performances are not going your way, but it still feels like हाँ मतलब लोग हमारे टीम के बारे में बात करें. So at least it's on a positive side. So I want to know your thoughts when you see rival fans trolling and talking about RCB fans more than the RCB fans, obviously, in the recent times.
अब तो बोलूं तो आदत सी हो गई है. I mean, it's like every now and then you hear everyone talking about RCB because there are three teams which haven't won IPL, but everyone love talking about RCB. I don't know why. I mean, they hate Virat Kohli, they hate RCB, but they still love to talk about RCB. I don't know what is there in RCB. I mean, even we are not so much bothered like जितना other fans bothered होते, like we haven't won 13 years any cup. ठीक है, we are digesting that fact. Okay, दुख होता है. I mean, it's hurting inside. Then why people are so interested? तुम लोग 13 years हो गए, ट्रॉफी नहीं जीता, ये हो गया, ट्रॉफी नहीं जीता, इतने big big names से you haven't won trophy. I mean, why are you interested? We are digesting the fact that we haven't won any trophy. Okay, fine, we will win it one day and then we will show it to you. But nahi, they have to start talking about RCB. They haven't won this, they haven't won that. Virat change the captain, change the team, this that. अब आदत सी हो गई है इसको
No,
लेकर.
funnily enough, after auction, everyone wants to be in RCB team, right? Everyone is jealous of RCB team after the
Right.
auctions, but after the season, nobody wants to be RCB team.
Well, I think to be very honest, I mean, jokes aside, RCB are indeed doing really well in this season. I mean, they started off the season in the last season as well, but I think this season you actually see a different vibe from the RCB team. So as you can see in the points table in front of you, for the first time in many years, I mean, Varnata, it is really surprising to see your team in the top half of the table rather than languishing at the bottom. From an RR point of view, अभी हमें आदत सी हो गई है to see our team at the bottom and to see RCB at the top. So I want to know your thoughts, Varnata, on how has been the performance for RCB in the first leg been? I mean, lots of name comes into my mind when we talk about RCB's performance in the first leg. You talk about the famous century by Devdutt Padikkal against RR, Maxwell show in the earlier matches, and even Shahbaz Ahmed, the all-rounder show against in one of the matches against Sunrisers Hyderabad that you guys won. So I want to know your thoughts. Like, how did it feel to finally see RCB dominating in that first half of the IPL?
Okay, before this, for RR, I think it's more of injury, like आदत सी हो गई है injury को लेके, like every now and then you see injury. I'm sorry, but हाँ, RR को उससे ज़्यादा मतलब लास्ट में रहने से ज़्यादा हो जानी चाहिए with the injury thing. And coming to RCB's performance, yes, like we did not expect this to happen. Like still we have this death bowling ka kami and all of that. Like we don't have good death bowler. But then that was sorted by Harshal Patel, and then the maiden century by Devdutt Padikkal. Then Maxwell performing well. Like it was out of the syllabus. Maxwell all of a sudden started performing because nobody was expecting, and RCB was going crazy. Like in the auction, में इसको लेना है तो इसी को लेना है. I mean, you spend all your pocket, everything. But we purchased Maxwell, and finally he stood up to that expectation. I was so happy with that. Matlab, he performed well. And it was just not that we were too dependent on Virat Kohli and ABD. We had Devdutt Padikkal, Virat Kohli, ABD, then Maxwell. Then eventually in between, Rajat Patidar gave us few of those good shots, innings, and all of that. So it was kind of, we started, taking responsibilities player by player. एक बंदे के ऊपर इतना responsibility नहीं था. Like always, it used to be Virat Kohli or ABD show for RCB. But then this year, it was not like that. I mean, everybody started taking responsibilities. They started playing well. And of course, our dead bowling. I mean, there were so many questions after the auctions. Abhi bhi dead bowler nahi hai. How are we going to manage? Because we usually lose our 70 to 80% matches in the death overs, like most of the matches before this season. And this year, somehow, except that CSK match, I don't want to recall that match. Jadeja and Harshal Patel, that chemistry is different. I don't want to go in that. But then, apart from that, I think Harshal Patel was decent this year, and then we really performed well, like in the first half, and not sure about the second half. What's going to happen?
Well, yes, I think you actually covered the next question that I was going to talk about. I think it was obviously about death bowling, and since you mentioned Harshal Patel, you can see Harshal Patel being named in the comment section in both positive and negative point of view as well. So as you can see, MI fans always being those arrogant and confident bunch in the comment section as well. Let's make it Six trophies, says Abhinav. I mean, yes, I mean, kitna trophy jeetoge tum bhi? I mean, I remember Varnata you mentioning the fact as well. So, thode trophy hame bhi de do. Like, be the Robin Hood, steal from the rich and give it to the poor. So, I think yes,
हमें
but
मतलब किसे राजस्थान को मांग रहे हैं कि आरसीबी को? हमें मतलब
बांट
किसे?
बांट लेंगे ना.
किसके लिए मांग रहे
बांट लेंगे. दोनों रॉयल्स ही तो है, रॉयल्स कनेक्शन.
हैं? अच्छा, इंग्लिश प्लेयर आ गए तो ट्रॉफी बांटने की बात चालू हो गई.
Well, yes, maybe yes. I think that would be a thing to watch out. But yes, talking about dead bowling, I was going to ask about one particular player since Harshal Patel. I think you basically covered. He has had a good season. Some might say thoda expensive gaya and everything like that. But there is one name that actually impressed me the most, and that was Mohammad Siraj. So when we talk about Mohammad Siraj, we often talk about his success in the longer format with the red ball, but few actually noticed that in the first leg of the IPL and even in the UAE, in one of the matches I remember against KKR on a clean track, he actually bowled a brilliant spell, 4 overs, 8 for 3 or something like that. He took in that spell. So Mohammad Siraj is actually looking like a whole new bowler in all the three formats since the last 2 or 3 years or so. So I want to know your thoughts, Varnat. I mean, obviously RCB were the team that actually backed him from the times that he was actually suffering in the last 1 or 2 years or so, and the way he came back into what he is now. So you have to give credits to Kohli and the team for backing Siraj. So I want to know your thoughts, Varnata, on Mohammad Siraj.
So if you look back 2 to 3 years ago, Siraj was somebody who, everyone used to troll him because of leaking runs, run machine, so many runs he's leaking in the death over especially. And then nobody knew that Siraj is going to change in this way. I mean, if you look at him right now, we expect so much more from him. And of course, the credit is to the captain Kohli because he backed him, the management backed him, and he himself believed in him. That's when the real skills and the talent came out, and that only comes when the person starts believing. And when his personal things happened, he started believing in himself more and more. And if you see the recent changes, I mean, he has just changed a lot. I mean, nobody would have thought that Siraj is going to play test match so soon, we're going to trust him so soon. Then he has shown all of that. And of course, I pray that he gives the same kind of performances in the upcoming second half, and it's going to be phenomenal. I mean, everything is going to be so good.
Definitely, yes. And for once, actually, you see the MI fans praising RCB. I mean, when was the last time that happened? So Abhinav is mentioning that as an MI fan, he's very happy to see
आज
with the way.
बारिश हो रही है इसीलिए.
Yes, maybe I think that's a luck of the COVID coincidence. But yes, you rightly made about the point about Siraj's development. And to be very honest, from my point of view, I thought that he was going to be named in the World Cup squad as well, given the way how he blended well with the team. So unfortunately, it didn't happen. But I do see a good future for Mohammad Siraj in all the three formats in the coming years or so. So before we actually move on to the next segment, let us now discuss about as you actually rightly mentioned कि second leg में क्या होगा वो किसी को ना जाने, but there have been certain changes in the squad dynamics of the RCB. So as you can see, we have listed down the replacement and the unavailable players for RCB. So you can see Kane Richardson, Daniel Sams, Washington Sundar, Adam Zampa, and Finn Allen. All of these players were unavailable. But to be very honest, I think RCB had a great replacement category, and I do believe that they were bang on with I think every move that they went for in terms of the replacement players. So I really like the inclusion of Hasaranga, who I think was the star in that India Sri Lanka series, and George Garden, who I think was a great player in the 100 tournament. So obviously you actually expected teams to scout for the 100 and go beyond the format of T20 to actually scout for the players. So I think it's good to see George Garton in the mix as well. So Vanatha, I want to know your thoughts. Do you think that Joe squad first leg में थी RCB की, and with the players obviously missing out, do you see RCB being a better squad in the second leg with the amount of with the level of replacement players been announced?
For me, it's going to be equally poised. I don't see it's going to be better or lesser because Sundar was again a good bowler, and with the batting also he was doing well. He was very conjuice bowler, I can say, not leaking too many runs in the power play. So So that ways we're going to miss Sundar. But then again, it would be interesting to see Vanindu Hasranga how he performances, because we wanted somebody in the lower middle order to perform for us as an all-rounder, give those important runs, crucial runs at the last when AB de Villiers and Virat Kohli walks out. So that ways, I think Vanindu Hasranga, I'm very, very excited to see him how he's going to perform in the lower middle order. And with the bowling also, we know what he has done in the Sri Lanka tour. So nothing to say much about it. Let's see, let's start the IPL and just see what is going to happen and what is there for RCB fans to see. So I'm very excited to see Vanindu Hasranga, because he will be in the playing 11. I don't know about the rest if they will be in, but Vanindu Hasranga is going to play, I think.
Kaustubh, you were going to say something? You had
No,
your
I'm
mic
just
off.
curious. No. I'm just curious that what are your thoughts on Washington Sundar being injured, and who will take his place in your opinion?
I think Hasranga is going to take his place. I mean, I'm going to miss him, like, because I told, as he was a conjuice bowler. I mean, he wasn't giving too many runs in the power play and all of that. But then we cannot do anything. Injury is something which we don't have control on. So I think Vanindu Hasranga is going to be the replacement in the playing 11. And let's talk about it in the playing 11 segment. Yeah.
And
Yes,
do,
definitely.
do you
And yeah, go
do,
ahead,
do you
Kaustubh.
feel Virat Kohli is going to open with Devdutt Padikkal again?
That's a good question. But I need to ask Virat Kohli then, because I don't know what runs in his mind. Like one day before he'll say something, the next day he does something else. So I am really not sure whether he's going to open with Devdutt Padikkal, but yeah, like 90 to 95% he's going to open, and then third will be any Rajat Patidar or Azruddin also. But I think he's going to open.
Yes, definitely. And actually, I was going to ask you about the bowling combination, but since you brought in the topic about batting, there was always one question that baffled me when it actually happened. So in the first leg, you saw AB de Villiers batting down the order for the first time for RCB, and that actually paid off eventually. I think he won a game for RCB, bat coming down at number 5 or number 6 in one of the games, but. It's really strange to see AB de Villiers, a player like AB de Villiers, who actually had lots of his success batting in the top half of the team, now demoted down to number 5. I mean, does RCB fans, I mean, this question is both Varnata and Arjun. Do you fans believe that AB de Villiers is can do a job as a finisher? I mean, you have seen him do all those wonderful chases in the recent years also. I mean, the one against RR just recently when he smacked Jaydev Unadkat for I think 30 in 2 overs. So that was actually one example of what AB de Villiers can do as a finisher. So I want to know your thoughts, guys. First, Varnata, about AB de Villiers. Do you see him having a more clear role in the finishing kind of a role, or do you feel that he's a better utilized player at the top of the order?
I think I don't know what is with him. वो क्या खाता है? What is he made of? I mean, he's a kind of god for RCB. I mean, he has given everything to us. And if you ask me why RCB should win a trophy, it's because of ABD. I mean, ABD has given everything to us. Whether you see with the gloves, with fielding, batting, everything has given to us. And I feel so bad just for ABD that if we don't win a trophy before he retires, it's I don't know. I think we should make a I can say a sync up or something like that for AB de Villiers and go and give him a trophy. That, sir, please take this from the fans, your loyal fans, because he has given us everything. And no matter where he plays, whether he plays at number 4, whether he plays at number 5, he does his job so phenomenally. I mean, it is at times it is so surprising to see how a man can perform like this. I mean, he doesn't play cricket much nowadays. I mean, he's not playing any cricket for his country, no international cricket. But then when he comes for IPL, it looks like he settled from home and he's coming. Like वो बोलते हैं ना, घर से set होके आया है, वैसा वाला लगता है. I mean, he settled from home and he's coming to play, and बस शुरू हो जाता है, मारना शुरू हो जाता है. So it really doesn't matter if he's playing as a finisher, if he's doing the job well, because that's how our team is, building up right now. If you see top order, that's how it's fitting, because Maxwell, again, he cannot play here and there. And if we start changing that again, I'm not sure if that's going to work out. So if it was working out this way, I think that's why they're continuing with this. Then that's the reason ABD is at fifth number.
Definitely, yes. What about you, Arjun? Do you agree with what Varnata said about AB de Villiers' position?
Yes, I agree about the last point. I feel the reason ABD is at number five is because Maxwell has is fitting better at number four. With Punjab Kings, he was more of a finisher and he flopped badly. Whereas with Australia, he bats in the top four, and similarly, that's why he's doing that for RCB, and that's why he's being so successful.
Yes, yes, definitely. So actually, before we move on to the bowlers part, so let us now have the overall squad, the entire squad for RCB being displayed. So as you can see, a star-studded lineup right in front of your eyes. I mean, it doesn't actually get better than this. I mean, just look at the names that they have in their squad, right from the batsmen, all-rounders, and bowlers. One interesting name actually that highlights me the most is about Devdutt Padikkal and Rajat Patidar. I mean, of course, Varnata spoke highly about Patidar just earlier, but I'm so impressed with the RCB team management this season for actually giving a more clear role to someone like Patidar and even Shahbaz Ahmed for that matter. I mean, that move to actually give him the 16th over against Sunrisers Hyderabad in that crunch game. I think Sunrisers were cruising, to be very honest, in that match. Warner scored a 50 and it was like मतलब 5-6 ओवर में मैच खत्म ही होने वाला था from Sunrisers point of view. But then Shahbaz Ahmed came in and took 3 wickets in that over, and so we have to give credits to the team management's thinking and even the captain's thinking for bringing that move. So you can clearly see a different vibe in the RCB dressing room altogether. So I think fingers are crossed for a wonderful season for you guys. So let us now move on to the next part that I was going to ask you, and this is a very interesting question, especially after the World Cup squad that was announced. So it was really unfortunate for RCB's very own Yuzvendra Chahal to miss out. So I think his form is a little bit over, and I think we have spoken a lot on the Bharat Army podcast as well about Yuzvendra Chahal's form. But from our RCB's point of view, Varnata, I want to know your thoughts. Do you feel that it is too harsh from all of us to criticize Charles' form and not just allowing him to be settled, because he is India's experienced bowler and he's the leading wicket taker for Team India in the T20I format. So are you concerned about Yuzvendra Charles' form, or do you feel that he's definitely going to find his groove back into the squad in the second leg?
See, if you see a World Cup perspective, I think experience matters a lot. And with that bit, I was a bit upset when the squad was announced. I thought that Yuzvendra Chahal is going to make it up, but then unfortunately he didn't. But then again, I think we have time till 18th or 6th of October or 10th of October that they can be settled in. But for that, Chahal has to perform well. And if you see his last year stats in UAE, they are pretty much good. I think after Bumrah, if you see in the Indian bowler list in the purple list, he's at third number or something with 23 wickets. I'm not really sure about the stats, but then yeah, he's there in the list, and he did perform well. So with that, I think every player has this offset in his life, and that's what I think Chahal and Virat Kohli is going through. And I'm really not sure what's going to happen. I think he's gonna get back to his form because he's really working hard. If you see his Instagram stories and everything, he's preparing, and he did well in UAE. So let's hope that he does well and he find his form, and hopefully he gets into the World Cup squad. We really want him to be there with as an RCB fan as an Indian fan, not only as RCB fan. But if you see it, it really feels bad. I felt bad for Yuzvendra Chahal and Dhawan because both are experienced, and we wanted them to see, and they were preparing like from years 2 to 3 years, and finally they were left out unfortunately. So yeah, let's hope.
Yes, let's hope. I mean,
No,
that is the one thing that we always
I
cling to as cricket fans. Yeah, Kaustubh, go ahead. You were
I
going to say
I
something?
I just hate to be a party pooper, but in order for Chahal to make into the squad of World Cup, some either Varun Chakravarti or Rahul Chahar has to have a really terrible season of IPL, and then Chahal has to have a very good
I'm
season.
hoping that.
Then and then only. Don't hope for
I'm
that.
hoping
You are
for
an
that.
Indian fan.
I know, but then okay, let's. But still, as an Indian fan, I want an experienced person to be in the squad because experience matters a lot, and he did well in UAE. It's just that his time is not. I mean, right now he is not in form, but you never know what will be in like just after a week. If he comes back to form, he start taking wickets, and he becomes the leading wicket taker for RCB. Then of course he will be in the squad. So let's hope. Let's hope.
To be
Yeah,
to be
he
very
has to
honest,
have enough energy.
yeah. Yeah, to be very honest, even I agree with Varnat. I do believe that missing out Chahal in the World Cup squad was actually a big blunder by Team India selection. I hope it doesn't backfire. I really want to see the spinners that have actually been picked for the World Cup squad performing really well and getting the trophy to us. But I think from the way how we treated Chahal, I think it was pretty disappointing for him to be missing out of the squad. So really hope for Chahal's and even for India's sake in the longer term, and even RCB's sake, we hope to see Yuzvendra Chahal 2.0 in the second leg of the squad. So let us now move on to the comment section, and as you can see, it has been a pretty lively comment section here. So let us take questions one by one. So I think we have taken quite a lot of them. So not exactly question, to be very honest. I mean, people have actually given their thoughts about about RCB, and they have been pretty vocal about it. So let's take one question from Ankit here. So he said, so it's about the thing that we discussed earlier. So RCB kept on trying players like Rajat and even Sundar at number 3 in one point. So can we see a settled player at number 3? Maybe someone like AB de Villiers. So what are your thoughts on this one?
But then who is going to come at number five? Then again, it's going to be a question who will play the finisher role. I mean, I can trust ABD as a finisher, or even if we are in the start and we lose too many wickets, like one, two, three, sab chale gaye. Still, I can trust ABD that he's going to play as a middle order and as a finisher. But then I really cannot trust somebody as an all-rounder who is very new and a youngster as a finisher. So that way, I think it's to be on a safer side, it's better to keep like somebody like Rajat Patidar or Azruddin at number three, and then go with AB de Villiers, because that's how that worked well in the first half. So let's go with that. And I think Virat Kohli is going to stick with that because that's working out with us. And ABD did well at number five. So if it was not working out, then maybe we would have tried AB de Villiers at number three and then all those shufflings. But then I don't believe that Virat Kohli is going to do again chop and change and put somebody here, there. So it's not going to happen that way, according to me.
Definitely, yes. And when you spoke about Virat Kohli, there were lots of questions coming in for Virat Kohli as well. So Abhinav is mentioning that Virat should bat at number 3, and even Shashank Sharma, the founder of Top Edge Cricket, is agreeing with Abhinav there that he sees Virat at number 3, knowing the fact that he might play at number 3 in the T20 World Cup. So it will be a clear indication of what Virat does for RCB. That will be obviously be applied in the World Cup squad as well. So we'll actually get our answers where will Virat Kohli bat in the Indian squad in just a few weeks' time when they face off
But
in
I
the
think
IPL.
For World Cup, he's going to bat at number three. And for RCB, let's see. I'm really not sure whether he's going to open. And we really cannot, read his mind right now. I mean, what's happening in his
I
mind?
think
Because
Virat
you remember
Kohli will
one,
open for World Cup. I have a
but
gut
for
feeling that
World
he
Cup,
he
I think
wants to open.
yeah, he wants to open, but I think somewhere it was confirmed that for World Cup, it's going to be Rahul and Rohit. And for RCB, I think it's going to be, I don't know. Let's see. Let's wait for a week, I think.
Yes, definitely. Yes, and you can even in the comment section you can send in your thoughts of where do you want to see Virat Kohli bat in the RCB 11 and also for India in the World Cup. So, do you want to see him opening, or do you agree with the most that he should bat at number 3? So, we are waiting to see yourself in the comments. So, let us now take another question. There are many, so actually I'm scrolling up to take one or two questions here. So, till the time Varnat actually figures out her, I think she lost because of her connection, but I think there have been really interesting questions and thoughts about the team overall. And since Arjun, you were also a part representing RCB. So till the time Varnat actually joins us, I want to know your thoughts about the second fast bowler with Siraj. To be very honest, so Varnat will join, but I'll let Arjun answer this for this second. So according to you, Arjun, who do you think should partner with Siraj in the playing 11 in terms of the fast
I
ball?
think they should persist with Harshal Patel. He had one bad match, but otherwise he's been doing really well at the death with all the slower balls and the Yorkers and all that. He is the death specialist as of now. And apart from them, Jameson is there to handle the power play.
Yes, definitely. Yes. And what about you, Varnat? I mean, obviously you had a little bit of a network connection, so we lost you there. But talking about fast bowling, yes, we spoke about the spinners for that matter. So who do you actually see partnering with Mohammad Siraj in the playing 11? Do you agree with what Arjun said, Harshal Patel, or Do you have any other name in mind?
No, I think we will go with Harshal Patel because he is giving those, in even in the death overs, he's performing well, and we don't want to see any changes right now in the playing 11. I mean, I want to go with the same 11 except the replacements. I mean, replacement is also clear. I think for Sundar, Hasranga is going to come in, and apart from that, it's going to be pretty much same. I don't want to do any changes, and let's go with the same team and let's win it this time. I hope I'm not jinxing it right now.
Yes. Speaking about Jinx, I'm still here, so don't worry about that. I mean, I'll
You are a
obviously be
rain jinx king now. You are a
but
rain jinx
not as
king.
a host, not as a host. So I obviously have that exception. So yes, one more question from Sashank Sharma. Do you see Pawan Deshpande in the playing 11? He heard that he can hit big sixes. I mean, we obviously see RCB trying out lots of new talents coming in the picture. So do you see RCB actually going by their tagline, going bold and with their selection in the second half of the season?
No bold until we qualify. I mean, I really need to qualify first in the top four. Until then, no new changes, no new experiments. I mean, once we qualify, we take that position of first and second, and then do whatever you want. I mean, that time I can see anybody in the playing 11, but not until we qualify. I mean, I really want to qualify now. I mean, we have to win, I think, 3 matches to qualify and 4 matches to be in the top two. So I have all the calculations ready because we are, right? We are so good with calculators. At the end of the day. So I'm ready with the calculations. I just want to qualify once, and then probably Pavandesh Pandey can come and see. But I don't see that happening now. But let's see. Maybe Virat Kohli will give chances to new people, maybe later stage when we qualify, but not right now, please. We want to qualify.
Well,
No,
that actually
there is
sums
a
up.
saying in English. There is a saying in English that is baptism by fire. So after 13 years of disappointment, I can really feel that she has been baptized with fire. She has been disappointed again and again for 13 years, and finally, this is the
Well,
outcome.
definitely, she has a priority set. I mean, जो करना है करो, बस पहले qualify हो जाओ. बाकी जो करना है
So
करो.
first
Even
of all,
drop
don't
Virat.
jinx it. First of all, don't jinx it. Say anything
Exactly.
good about before qualifying.
Yes, definitely.
Are
So
before
before actually,
qualifying, I
yeah.
remember before qualifying, I remember I have cried so many times sitting with the calculator. I'm like, okay, one ball, okay, आज इतना अगर वो team हारेगी तो we gonna qualify. Okay, वो इतने run से हारेगी तो we can qualify. Okay, that many overs, okay, still we can qualify. अच्छा वहां पे वो हार जाएगी तो we can qualify. I mean, I don't want to see that real no right now.
You
I
you
mean,
I think
remember
let's
a
one
go
of
season?
good. Let's qualify.
Do you remember a season where RCB was second and MI just took a six and they got onto the second and RCB's match got washed out? Do you remember that?
to be very honest, Kaustubh, ऐसे
I don't.
situation not just once, बहुत बार हुए हैं. So,
Oh, sorry. RR के against ही तो मारा था. I must.
oh, I will not go there. Will not go there. But yes, I think Varnata.
We
I
can
mean,
see the
obviously,
pain behind that smile.
exactly. You can
We can
see
see the
that. I
pain
mean.
behind that smile.
हंसदे चेहरे का मतलब ये होता ही नहीं है कि उनके कोई दर्द नहीं है. उसका मतलब ये
Come
होता है
on,
वो
man.
दर्द
Come
नोटिस
on,
करना
guys.
आता
I'm
है.
the host. I'm the host. I should be the one controlling the show, but you are just trolling me. I mean, चलो ठीक है. अभी RR fan Sashank is also there in the comments. So
Sorry,
obviously,
Sanchit, sorry.
no worries, no worries. So I think before we actually move on to the predicted 11 segment, so let us talk about Rajat Patidar for a change. So I know that Varnata, you spoke highly about Patidar. So there is one question from Ashwin that Patidar was given plenty of chances, but still didn't give his best. Do you think Azharuddin should come into the 11 in place of Patidar?
As I told earlier, also like either Patidar or Azruddin will be at number three, and even in my playing 11, I see either of them playing because I know Patidar was given so many chances, but again, this is I think the first time he's playing, so maybe he's not that confident. Only few matches were given. Again, he was dropped out. Then we tried Sundar at number three. We tried Shabaz at number three. So maybe he was not getting that rhythm to come and give those runs. But then he did play one match where he did perform well. I think 26 or 28 runs or something he played. So at least give him some chances, and probably then probably then we can see Azruddin playing. But I think it's going to be Rajat Patidar for now. And if he is not performing, maybe Azruddin can replace in the later half.
Definitely, yes.
Why
And
was that
Sashank.
smile?
You actually saw the comment. I mean, Sashank is playing for the Rajasthan Royals. I mean, we could obviously see fan wars happening in the comment section. I mean, obviously it is the IPL season, and you tend to see this kind of comment section, and it is going to be that for the next 1 or 2 months or so. But yes, definitely there has been pretty funny comments as well. Abhinav is mentioning that let us pass a law changing mathematics subject in school to RCB. I mean, obviously you guys will be the toppers, and the less said about that is better. But yes, jokes aside, Varnat, I think you spoke really good points about Patidar and Azharuddin, and who should actually feature in the 11. And I really feel that Azharuddin will actually get a good chance to feature in that 11. So let us now move on to the predicted 11 segment, and we have actually prepared our very own predicted 11 from the Third Man Cricket Show. So can we just display it on the screen so it is visible to everyone? So yes, this is our predicted 11. So as you can see, Devdutt Padikkal, and we are backing Virat Kohli to open the innings with Padikkal and Rajat Patidar at number 3 to not mess up, at least in the initial matches. And the 4 overseas: Glenn Maxwell, AB de Villiers, Hasaranga, the new joining, and obviously the danger man, Kylie Jamieson, who I think is the most hated player in India since the World Test Championship final. And let's not talk about New Zealand again in that since for a long time. I mean, but yes, I think this is our overall 11. So Varnata, according to you, do you see any changes from the 11 that we just displayed? According to you, who do you think could be the player to miss out from the 11?
I think it's going to be same. Even I'm backing Virat Kohli as an opener. I mean, even I want him to open and 70. I don't want to complete it. So let's keep it. I mean, I'm not expecting. I have stopped expecting because you know that expectations hurt at the end. So I'm not expecting. Let him play his game and then let him do it. I mean, whenever the time comes, it's going to happen. But I am backing Virat Kohli as an opener again. And I think at number 3, again, I'm saying the same thing. It's going to be the Rajat Patidar or maybe Azharuddin. And the rest remains the same. I mean, Glenn Maxwell, AB de Villiers, and then Vanindu Hasranga and the bowling department.
Definitely, I
I
think
see so many comments about RCB trolling CSK or something. I never spoke about CSK.
I think he's your brother, right? Sanket is your brother, right? Yes. So, Varnata, just I want to have that sibling rivalry. So, do you wish to say anything to your brother, the CSK fan, your rival? Just say it now. It is your chance.
Oh my God. It's a rivalry. It is called as rivalry, but घर पे it's alag rivalry. I mean, I don't want to say about it. I mean, we fight so much on the day when there is RCB versus CSK, and you remember the last RCB versus CSK match. Oh my God, I had to lock my door inside the room because he was, he did not stop trolling me for everything. You saw Jadeja, how did he hit? You saw Harshal Patel, Purple Patel. I mean, my God, I had to, somehow I lived that day, or else it's really hectic to stay with CSK fans, and that too when you have one at home. It's very difficult, and that too he's a Dhoni fan, and Dhoni fans and CSK fans, and they never leave RCB even for a reason. I mean, if there is one mistake, they will keep that all their life to troll you every single day.
Well, definitely. I think
You
this is
know,
the story of the
it's
IPL.
if CSK fans are bothering you, it's very easy to have a comeback against them. Just ask them where they were for 2 years, and they'll shut about. So just ask them where they were for 2 years.
Very naughty,
ओके
very naughty.
ओके ओ अरे अरे यार अरे आरआर वाला है अपने साथ
Very naughty. I mean, minus points to Kaustubh on this show. I mean,
Not for
yeah,
me. Not for me.
मुझे क्यों तोड़ा? What did I do?
अरे अरे किया तो राहुल द्रविड़ ने भी कुछ नहीं था यार हो गया ना टीम बाहर
I mean, let's not talk about the two. I think the 2 years didn't happen. Even MI has just 4 titles. So जो भी हुआ
But the stats
2016,
are to
17.
2 years.
हाँ, बराबर. So we all are agreeing with that. So I think that's good. But yes, I think it's it has been the story of the IPL. You have these
just
rivalries.
one correction Ronak
Yeah.
just one correction it's not 13 years it's 11 years you are banned for 2 years 11 years
Oh, oh, the rivalry. It is kicking off. CSK versus RCB. It is kicking off. I mean, the match may be on some other day, but on the Third Man Cricket Show, it is already
One
kicking.
minute. Is he a CSK fan?
Yes, Ronak is a
So they were
CSK
yeah
fan.
born
yeah yeah
early,
yeah
right? They were born early. We were still not born. Okay, because they have only. You,
We actually
you
call
know,
Ronak
right?
sir
What I'm
also.
saying.
Oh my God! Shots fired. So yes, it is kicking off, and it really was. It is really the story of the IPL. You see this rivalries, this banters going all around in the on the social media platform, and I think that is what makes IPL a beautiful place. I mean, obviously, when it's about Team India, you are together supporting the team in blue, but when IPL is there, you obviously support the team in different colors. But I think it's close to 40 minutes now, so it is time for the closing. So before we actually close off the show, Varnata, it has been a fantastic discussion and lots of laughter, lots of fun that we had. Even in the comment section, I mean, you guys were brilliant with your comment section as well. So Varnata, before we actually do the closing, we would like you to talk about your social media page, and you can ask everyone to follow you as well.
So my page, social media page is not related to cricket. It's all about life aesthetics. If you have been following me, I think Sanchit and me follow each other. So it's not anything about cricket. I mean, I'm a cricket fan, a Indian fan, but I don't post anything related to it. Of course, you can see on my story, so you can follow me at Missing Nine for all the life updates and some aesthetics and some food.
Well, definitely yes, and yes, Varnata actually posts really amazing posts. So you can check her out in the on Instagram. The link is in the video description, so you can definitely show her your support, because I think her profile is one of the most aesthetic profile in terms of designing, and the way how she crafts her page really well. So it really is a wonderful thing to see. So Varnata, thank you so much for
Thank you
doing this.
so much, Sanchit.
Yeah, it really was lively. I mean, even thank you to everyone who tuned in the comment section. I mean, because of you, it was meant to be. I mean, this was the first time we went
Yeah.
very off circuit kind of a move, so it was really great. And thanks Kaustubh, thanks Arjun for being the co-host. I mean, you guys were brilliant as well, and some great questions and thoughts thrown in by Arjun as well. And Kaustubh, always with your that remark about CSK, the shots that you fired to CSK, I think that would be worth remembering. Yes, you were going to say
Thanks
something.
Shashank Sharma also. Thanks
Yes,
Shashank Sharma
Sashant
also.
Sharma,
He
the star of the day. I mean, yes.
he posted some really funny comments.
Yes, definitely. Yes, I think Shashank is mentioning that you were really good Varnata. So really, thanks. I think Shashank was there for the RR show as well. So I think yes, I think we will continue to keep doing this. So before we actually do the closing, there is one more announcement that we have to make. I actually forgot it in the flow. So at 8:45 p.m. tonight, we are going to release our poster for tomorrow's segment. That is on 14th of September at 7 p.m. We are bringing you live Kolkata Knight Riders IPL build-up preview. So I know that RCB fans would not like to talk about KKR for 49 different reasons or something like that. But yes, we have a very special guest with us in Abhijit Panda. So definitely you yes, Vanata, go ahead.
49 is a different story, but you know what we have been doing in the last 2 years. I mean, the stories have been different. We have, learned from our mistake. It's no more 49. Let's leave it. Let's leave the past.
We
Well,
bought the entire
definitely.
bowling lineup.
Yes, exactly. I mean, yes, so we'll discuss about KKR in depth tomorrow. So do check out the Third Man Cricket Show. Do follow Varnata. Her ID is on the screen, and do follow the Third Man Cricket Show. We are
Thanks to
there
everyone.
available. Yes, we are there available on all the social media platform. Do follow us on Instagram. I mean, without your support, we are actually just incomplete without all of your support. So because of all of your support and love that you've given us in the recent month, we are able to deliver these kind of contents to you. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon on YouTube app so you don't miss out any future episodes that we are going to cover. So lots of exciting teams, lots of wonderful talks that are going to happen in the next days. So stay tuned, and at 8:45 do check out our social media pages. This is Sanchit Desai signing